Vinyl siding corner repair. This video is not going to be of the actual repair, but some basics of it, basics of working with vinyl, and some of the tools to make it successful. All right, so first off, couple things. Vinyl siding, especially when it's old, can be very brittle in cold regions, colder times of the year. Right now, it's like, I think, November 16th, 2023, and it's usually pretty chilly right now, and I would not recommend working with vinyl. But I'm here because a friend of mine I know, well, they had an accident. A large camper like that back there, another one up front they were working on. And when they pulled it out to make the corner out in the road out there, the back end swung wide. So from where the axle is to the tail end of the camper, smashed the roof. So I just got done doing that. And this, I think, was unrelated. He asked if I could get to it. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to do it real quick. Shoot a little video of this for you guys to give you some tips and tricks because I haven't had that content lately. So vinyl, if it's cold, be careful. It can crack, shatter, fracture, snap, and you're like, God damn it. So just be careful. Colder regions, you might want to wait for a warmer day. Today it's like 68-degree high. It's warmer today. I'm actually hot right now, so I'm like, the sun hitting us, we're gonna attempt it, we're gonna do it. Pop them loose, work on it, and get the corner out and replace for them. So we're gonna go through the tools and some tips. All right, so to get one piece of siding, not hard. You just pop it loose, slide it out, take your piece out and replace it. Let me go wide angle here. In this case, it's a corner. Those are the repairs that are dreaded. I don't like doing corner repairs. I don't do a lot of siding. Not that it's hard, it's just time consuming because you gotta start from up here, pop that loose, pop this loose, pop this loose, pop this loose, all the way down, jump over on the other side, do the same thing all the way down. I got this side out, it was going fairly smooth. I'm like, maybe somebody can learn something from this. So as you start from the very top, there's usually a little finishing strip and a snap lock tool if it's installed right. That you don't necessarily have to get out. What you want to do is pop the two pieces loose. So the last piece being here, the top where the nail flanges is nailed, you need to split that loose. Now the tool for that is going to be something like this. And I'll try to link any of these tools in the description down below if I have time and can find them. Nothing special to it. There's a hook. You reach up into these, where these nail flanges nail right here, if you can see the glare on my screen here. You're going to reach in here, hook this piece essentially. Once you're hooked, you're going to pull down and slide it out. You're going to hear this like zipper sound. Zip, pop it loose and free. It's worth pointing out too, the pieces here are not real big. I originally figured I'd just take these loose all the way down, take them out, remove them. Honestly, removing two of the nails is enough to flex them to pop out of the corner. You got to take everything loose because this has its own nail flange and it goes in behind here. There's essentially a J little cup that locks this in so it looks good and decorative finished ends. You can't just take this out. You got to take them loose. So do that, work your way all the way down. Removing this nail and a nail over here, it was enough to flex this loose. Get this all the way down, which it is. You're going to repeat the process. So I got to take one more nail out of the starter strip there. The starter strip is nothing more than the very first... Whoa. Sorry about that. Almost dropped my phone. To hold the very first panel in. So what I'm going to do next is jump over here, take this loose and come down. You're going to reach in here, pop up in this little corner. It's nothing more than a drip groove because it's a factory edge. Hook it, pop it down, slide it over, take a nail or two out, make it loose enough to get this unhooked, slid over, and flexed out. Repeat that process all the way down. The flat bar is nothing more than a tool I use for the roof repair. Just a standard cheap claw hammer. You're going to hook the nails and pull them out. And when you're going to put nails in, hammer works good for those. But in rare cases, more so up at your finishing strip, if you need to put a trim nail in or your soffit, those little divots, that's where you want to try to drive your nails in. This tool comes in really handy. What this is, you put your little trim nail in there and you'll drive it in with a hammer. So for example, if this was a piece of soffit right here, let me try to block the sun. Right here, you need to get it. You don't want to drive your hammer right onto it because you can crack this really easy. And even if you drive too, your hammer head hits the edge of the siding, your nail's not driven in. That's where this tool comes in handy. You'll put your trim nail in, put it in here, you'll strike this in with your hammer, and it can drive those trim nails in without even affecting your siding here. So these are really handy too. They're not very expensive. I always keep this in my tool belt and this for the roofing jobs because I do need to pop a piece free or something. Those are common to have. Snap lock tool I do not have with me right now. I don't do enough siding. What that'll do is your finishing strip. So that last piece of siding is cut down. It's not a factory edge. You got your J or F and J, whatever you're using up there. Your finish strip will go in, and then you need to cut your height of your panel. Snap lock tool punches a tab forward so it shoves in and locks in. Pretty cool thing, but you'd be surprised how many repairs I go to for vinyl where people don't put those in. Kind of nightmares. So the repair is really not hard. Just take your time when you're doing a corner. It's really the same when you're actually doing a new install. You just put your corners on, put your trim pieces on, your starter strip, and go to town. I will point out a couple things. When you're going to drive nails in, these are slotted like that, so you can put your nail in, not tight. It's important not to drive this thing home. You drive it home so it's tight, it's not gonna look good as a finished product. More so when this heats and expands, or if you drive your panels in tight and they heat and expand, you're gonna see it warp because it can't shift and slide around like it needs to. Like any material, they have expansion and contraction, different rates, different materials. Vinyl, that's why these are here. And another pointer, again, I don't do a ton of siding, but I do know I've seen people make mistakes where their panels lap a factory edge right here. They'll put 2 nails in way too close to the corners and too tight, and you can cause a cosmetic issue or a really big warp to the panels here. Pretty much any vinyl siding material I've ever worked with has the instructions, so just read it. Pretty sure it states that you want to keep your finishing factory edges, nails at least 6 inches out, so it's secure, they lock together, but it doesn't cause any warps or anything. So if you're going to do anything significant, just read the instructions. It's pretty simple. See if I forgot anything here. Yeah, it's the other thing right there, just be cautious if you're going to be pulling out trailer to come out. I guess the moral of the story, if you got a wide load, long wide load, be careful where the thing swings. Hopefully the video helps. If you learned something, if you could give it a quick thumbs up. This content helps people out there. If you guys give it a quick little thumbs up or comment down below, it really does help the channel and promote it to other people. I learned a lot of the vinyl siding I know from a guy named Shannon on YouTube. HouseImprovements, I think, was his channel name. Check it out. I'll try to link it down below. I think he's Canadian. Years back, I learned a lot from his channel on how to build decks and do siding. So I figured I'd just share this little tidbit here on the corner. Vinyl siding's real easy. There's little tips and tricks you can learn. Like anything, use some common sense. Just so I know if you've watched this far, leave a comment down below. Wide load, or I don't know if the thing comes to mind is badonkey donk. And I'll know you watched it this far. Until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one.